Hello everyone, welcome back to Easy Education London, and in this video we are going to provide our predictions for English Literature Paper 2 and also go over the poems which you can compare in your exams. As many students are confused, they sometimes start to panic in the exam, struggling to think of poems to compare. And also I'll be providing my predictions for that exam. So very quickly, just to go over paper 2 in brief detail, section A is 45 minutes and you will have a question based on the text or the modern text that you have studied. So for most students, it'd probably be an inspector calls for section A. So you spend 5 minutes on the plan, 40 minutes writing, and then maybe around 5 minutes checking over your answer. And how many paragraphs are you expected to write? You're probably looking at 3 to 4 paragraphs. So that's section A. Section B is your poetry section, your power and conflict, to those of you studying that. Again, 45 minutes, spend 5 minutes planning and 40 minutes writing, and you're looking to write 3 to 4 paragraphs. And section C is your unseen poetry, which is, again, 5 minutes for your plan, 30 minutes for the 24 marker, and then 10 minutes for the 8 marker. So in total, 45 minutes as well. So it is longer compared to paper 1, and generally speaking, it's slightly more challenging for students. Not to scare students off, but it's slightly more intense, and there's more to write and more to prepare for. So what I wanted to do is give you my take in terms of my predictions and what may come up. So let's go to section B very quickly on page 17. Now you will have one question for your power and conflict poetry. So for example, in this question we have: compare how poets present the ways people are affected by difficult experiences in Remains and in one other poem from Power and Conflict. So we don't know which poem will come up, but if I was to make a prediction, there are certain poems that are less likely to come up, and we are going to look at it in further detail. So what has come up and what can we take from this in preparation for exams? So I just wanted to look at what has come up in previous history, so then we can start looking at the possibility and the predictions for this year. So if we start off with June 2017, okay, so June 2017, we had bayonet charge. So I'm just going to put BC. June 2018, okay, we had Ozymandias. I'm going to put O or OZ. June 2019, we had war photographer, so WP. And then in November 2020, we had it's Remains. So this is the one we're looking at right now. And then November 2021, we had London. And then June 22 is Bayonet Charge, BC. And June 23, which was last year, was My Last Duchess, MLD. Okay, now if we go through the pattern and see any significance or the pattern, okay, we've seen only one poem come up twice in the last few years, okay, which is unlikely for the example to use again, which you probably can guess is Bayonet Charge. Okay, so Bayonet Charge has come up in 2017 and 2022. So the exam board are probably going to say, hang on, students have done this before, they've done past papers and it's come up twice. So Bayonet Charge is out of the question. Okay, that's the most probable scenario. Okay, it's not going to come up. If it does, I'll be really surprised, but highly doubt it. Doesn't mean you don't revise it. So that's Bayonet Charge out of the way. And then we had Ozymandias, War Photographer, Remains, London, and My Last Duchess. Now, my prediction, if you look at what's come up previously, we are going to look at the theme of nature, okay, and also the theme of identity as well. But also, there are certain poems that have not come up before. And these are some questions for you to prepare and revise for. So what I'm going to say is I'm just going to make a note of it, because these are some poems that may arise in your exams and for you to prepare for. So I will write these down, and these are some poems that you want to perhaps prepare for. Now, the first one, if I just scroll down, let's do it in purple. Okay. So my first prediction is going to be, I am going to say storm on the island. Okay. So storm on the island. Okay. That's the first one. The second one I will go for is exposure. The third one I'm going for is poppies. And the fourth one, checking out my history. Okay, so these are the ones I have: 1, 2, 3, 4, and the least likely I would say is tissue. So I know I get this question every year, so will tissue come up? But I think that's unlikely. So if I was to rank it in terms of the highest to lowest likelihood, storm on the island, exposure, poppies, checking out my history, and tissue. So I reckon it'll be between one of those five. Okay. So the reason I've given you a broad range is so that you are best prepared for these exams. Okay. So do make sure you prepare these exams and go over these specific poems so that you are well aware for what needs to be revised and covered. Now, there are certain poems, if you have learned yourself, then you will find it easy to compare to any of the other poems in the Power and Conflict anthology. So they include, so just ignore what's on the left. If you have learnt Ozymandias, hang on. So there are certain poems that if you learn, you can compare to in your exam. So I will go over this in a part 2. So if you would like to see that, please subscribe, like and share with your friends, as we have plenty more exciting videos on the way. Thank you all for the continuous support. We are going to be going live on YouTube and TikTok, so do make sure you follow us to stay updated. And thank you all for your continuous support. It has been incredible. It has been amazing. So do check out our YouTube for more information. And if you are interested in joining our online classes, link is in our bio. Thank you very much.